Welcome to Naples for the fourth and final round of the Wsk Supermaster Series on a beautiful, sunny, southern Italian day. Good morning to everyone where you are watching us live around the world for this, the series decider at one of the most famous racetracks on earth. This is Circuito Internazionale Napoli, and we are preparing for the first of our 7 pre-finals this morning, which we are delighted to bring you live on wsk.it, also the official Facebook page of Wsk Promotion. This is Ian Silvestrin joining you for this deciding final round. You can see on your screen the legendary volcano of Vesuvius in the background, and that is the view from the very far end of the track, some 300 meters from where we are bringing you this live broadcast here this morning. Vesuvius there, height of 1,281 meters, although before it erupted some 2,000 years ago, you can add another kilometer to its original height. The fireworks will erupt on the circuit though today. Yeah, forgive the cliche, but we're really looking forward to this. And in a few moments' time, we'll be underway with the first of our 7 pre-finals. It is pre-final A for the junior class on a beautiful sunny day at Circuito Internazionale Napoli, just outside of Naples. That is the view of the final corner, a packed paddock, 270 drivers from 43 nations, and more than 1,000 drivers have competed in the 4-round series that we began at Adria in northern Italy back on the last weekend of January. Official photographer for Wsk Promotion, Mr. Giovanni Cunha, runs out of pit lane. It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you, Giovanni. Working hard at each of the Wsk events. Great to have him here and many other people from all around the world, photographers, journalists, fans, teams, drivers, mechanics. It's a great atmosphere here in Naples. It's a beautiful sunny day. Yes, we have all become meteorologists. We've all become weather experts since the snow at Lonato cancelled the show. But it's great to be here at Sarno for the series decider. That is Paul Aron, the Estonian, who will start this first pre-final on pole position. He's had a great run so far this weekend. He is 6th in the championship. Coming into this race, remember he won the Wsk Champions Cup at Adria, the very first race of the year back in January. And it's an all Ricky Flynn Motorsport front row of the grid with his English teammate, Zach O'Sullivan, starting out of grid number 2. We will go through the grid for you shortly as we prepare for our 7 pre-finals and then the 4 finals live later this afternoon right here on wsk.it, also the official Facebook page of Wsk Promotion. Aron leads the field out. That is Sebastian Montoya, who has found his form here this weekend in Naples. The Colombian-American starts out of grid number 4 for the Tony Kart Racing team. Really jumped up a gear, has the young Floridian in 397, the Vortex-powered Tony Kart, as the field come out onto the circuit. Pre-final A, and this is the grid. RFM dominate the front row with Aron and O'Sullivan. Dino Bogdanovic for Ward Racing out of 3 alongside Sebastian. Alex Dunn, the Irishman. Luke Gabosco back in form also out of grid number 6. As we go through the grid for you, 4th row is Griggs, who qualified 2nd, the Englishman, on Friday evening. You see Maya Veg down in position number 23. She just missed a podium by half a lap 7 days ago in contention here, but she hasn't had a good run throughout the heats. Has to do it the hard way. She starts on the 12th row of the grid alongside the very impressive Canadian Thomas Netvow, who was superb last week, and he's been even better here this weekend. The 416. The Birillard, powered by the TM, the boy from Quebec in Canada, is alongside Meyer on the 12th row of the grid. The front row dominated by the 3-time world champion team, Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Aron and O'Sullivan. There is bumping going on. Bogdanovic telling Paul to get on with it, and that's exactly what they do. Aron sweeps to the outside, and we go green for the first time here this morning. Ricky Flynn Motorsport team drivers lead the field up the back straight. One kart, it looked to be possibly a Birolata or a Cosmic out on the grass, but they've all got through relatively cleanly on this opening lap of 13. Pre-final A here, the series decider for the WSK Supermaster Series. At the foot of Vesuvius here in Naples, a Ron O'Sullivan 1 and 2 as they go back into the Pentafuels hairpin for the first time. Down the Vega tyres, back straight. And the British team with the Estonian and the English drivers running 1 and 2 at this early stage. Beganovic for Ward Racing up into P3. We know Rebecca Ward is nervously watching on her boys from her home over there in Monaco. Good morning to you, Rebecca. Dino is up in position number 3 and trying to hunt down the RFM team drivers as they come across the line for the first time. Montoya is up into 5th spot. Alex Dunn also a good start. Actually, Montoya's gone through into 4th as they go through the far part of the circuit for the second time. The field settles down. Was Tuka Tuppan and the Finnish driver who got wide on the opening corner. He did rejoin, but he's way down in position 34. Remember, just the first 17 go through to the final. And currently position 17 at this early stage is being held by the Welshman, Matthew Rees. And further back in the field, I can tell you we've had an incident involving the fastest qualifier, Alfio Spinner. Alfio Spinner has come together with 2 karts also involved in that accident. William Silverholm and San Yuhan from China in the Kart Republic chassis. It looks as though we have lost the fastest qualifier from Friday night, Alfio Spinner. We wait for the Sicilian, but it won't happen. He won't come across the line. The rest of the field form through. Matthew Morocco, the young Italian, is the last to cross the line. He's down in position 31. Spinner from Sicily, the fastest qualifier, who has been superb all weekend, is already out as Montoya tries the back of Beganovic. The American and the Swede leaves himself vulnerable to Alex Dunn as they go up into the Pentafuels hairpin. Alex trying to get the job done. The boy from Dublin on the back of the Floridian. That's Sebastian Montoya, who signals to Alex, hey, the RFM team drivers and Dino, they're getting away from us. I don't think you can really try and convince an Irishman of your race tactics and try and work with you. Alex will just try and get past young Sebastian as soon as he can. The team Forza Racing in P5. There's Alex Catalyst, the Singaporean, and 301 also for Forza. Across the line ahead of Lorenzo Resico, the La Conca winner, Hadrian David, who's had a disastrous run, including qualifying on Friday night, but he's got it all together now. The Frenchman up into P8 ahead of the German Josh Dufek, also for Forza Racing. And then Little Luca Bosco rounds out the 10, back in a green kart for the first time since Adria this weekend. Luca qualified in position 6 on Friday night. He's just been passed by Dufek and Hadrian that time. There's Alex Dunn on the back of Sebastian Montoya. Really looking good this weekend is young Sebastian. 397, the Vortex-powered Tony Kart Racing Team entry, has gone from being a midfield runner to a contender at this 4th and final round of the series. There he goes through turn number 1, ahead of Alex Dunn. Up the back straight they go. It's quite a wait. Back to the Singaporean, Alex Catalyst. His Greek father, Veli, his Japanese mother, Akiko, watching on from their home in Singapore. The boy who now lives in England, that is Alex, up in position number 6. What a mix. But what a start from young Alex in 301. There are now, if I'm not mistaken, 3 Forza Racing Team drivers in the top 10. The first of which is Alex Dunn. Then Alex Catalyst, and also Josh Dufek in P9, but it's Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Probably their fiercest rivals. There's Catalyst going through, who still lead 1 and 2. There's Beganovic, Montoya, and Dunn. 328. Alex had a difficult run. This is Dunn I speak of last weekend, but he's on the pace this weekend. Montoya right there. Then we go back to Catalyst. Resico Hadrian David, 3.30 goes through. There's Bosco in 3.75. Just ahead of Semi Magotunif, who took a heat win here yesterday. The driver from Marseille in southern France. I can tell you Semi is not on strike, unlike half of France over the coming weeks. The Formula K team driver up into 11th, ahead of Sebastian Ogard, Luca Griggs, Norton Andreas and Kajaski. Meyer is up into P16 from Grid 23, and Lorenz van Hoepen from Rotterdam, 17, that final qualifying position at the moment. There are still 8 laps remaining out of the final at the moment, needing to improve are Conrad Larsen from Copenhagen, Denmark. Jetpack Jack Crawford from Houston, Texas in the USA. He needs to rocket himself up at least another few places to make it through. The Spaniards, Josep Marti, Lucas Fluxa from Mallorca in Spain, down in P21. In the 364 Praga Kart, Albanese, the American Tyler Maxson, Mert Salmi, Tuka Tappinen, Thomas Netvow, the Canadian, in danger of missing the final after a great run all weekend. Drivers who will definitely not race the final include the Welshman, Matthew Rees. He is out, as is the Pole, Marcel Kuch. The fastest qualifier, Alfio Spinner, has retired on the opening lap, along with the Swede, William Silverholm, and the Chinese driver, San Yu Hang. So we've got 5 retirements. Matthew Morocco, the final runner, as Beganovic now closes right in on the back of the first RFM team drivers. Dino looking good as we approach half race distance. Will he put it down the inside? Indeed he does. Dino gets the job done. The Ward Racing team pilot splits the Ricky Flynn Motorsport drivers. Rebecca, we can hear you cheering from Monaco. Dino from Sweden is up into P2. O'Sullivan, 3.25 from England, tries to respond. Montoya just intelligently sits behind. Let's take a look at the replay. Down the inside on the final corner of the track. Fast becoming one of the best passing opportunities as the Vega and Bridgestone control rubber gets painted onto this 1.5 kilometre circuit. They go down the Vega tyres, back straight into betitaly.it. Beganovic, O'Sullivan, Montoya done. We wait for Catalyst. There's the Singaporean. Lorenzo Resico, Hadrian David up into P8. Josh Dufek and the driver from France, Semi Magotunif. The Formula K now inside the top 10. He's just got past the Alessandro Manetti Motorsport driver, Luca Bosco. Andreasen up to 12th. Here's Catalyst going through. Hadrian David. There's Magotunif. Bosco across the line with a bright yellow fluorescent Stilo helmet. Head of Andreasen, Ogard Griggs back to 14th. In danger of missing the final, Luca Griggs. Second quickest in qualifying on Friday night. But like many drivers, he has been feeling the nasty effects of a virus that has been circulating around the pit area. Many a driver not feeling too well. Some of them have not eaten for a few days. Griggs under the weather, almost fainted after one of his qualifying sessions. He does run in position 14. Further back in the field, we've got a problem for Mersalmi, Albanese, Lorenzo Fluxa also. The driver from Mallorca in Spain trying to restart, but it might be in vain. Lorenzo Fluxa abandons his kart at turn number 6. The Spaniard joins the list of retirements. Mersalmi and Albanese also. They are also out. O'Sullivan closes in on the back of Beganovic, who hasn't been able to shake the English driver. Look at the karts littered around the track, pre-final A for the junior class. This, the 4th and final deciding round of the Supermaster Series. 4 laps to go to decide one side of the grid for the final later this afternoon. Beganovic for Ward Racing looking good in P2, as is O'Sullivan. Paul Aron just doing it easily out front. Currently, Jetpack Jack, the American. We don't call him Walker, Texas Ranger. The driver from Houston, we call him Crawford, Texas Ranger, and he currently holds that magical position 17. The field come across the line. Dunn has dropped off from Montoya. There's Catalyst, Hadrian David. What a drive for the Frenchman. Then it is Dufek, Resico, Megatonif, Bosco, Andreasen, Ogard, Griggs 14th. Van Upen from Rotterdam, Kayaski, still Crawford, the American. In position 18, Josep Marti, the Spaniard. 19th behind Lawson, and Maya Veg needs to improve 3 places just to make the final. She was almost on the podium 7 days ago. She just needs to make it through to the final, at least here this afternoon. She's in danger of missing out. She's got 3 laps to move up 3 places. Back to the front, Bogdanovic and O'Sullivan, the Swede leading the Brit. Through the final corners now with 2 laps to go at the end of this one. Dino Bogdanovic for the team run by the legendary Joachim Ward. The Vortex-powered Tony Kart, it's a Vortex 1, 2 and 3. The Fernando Alonso FA chassis for the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team as O'Sullivan tries to go down the inside. Bogdanovic closes the door. He does not flinch. The Swede, as tough as nails, Zach, will have to fight back, try again to take position number 2. Down through the Pentafuels hairpin. O'Sullivan looks behind him. Into the BetItaly.it hairpin. Lawson, Conrad Lawson, the Dane, has got by the American Crawford. Take a look at the replay. There wasn't room for Zach O'Sullivan to go through on Bogdanovic. The Swede still holds P2. This is the last lap. We'll check as they come across the line. Conrad Lawson, last time round, was in position 17. Huntley and David up into position 7. The LeConca winner, Bogdanovic, goes defensive. The final lap for a spot on the front row of the grid, potentially for the final. Ron has potentially got pole position locked up, depending on the result of pre-final B. Conrad Lawson, the Dane from Copenhagen, currently holds position 17. Crawford, Texas Ranger, needs to move up 1 spot to make it through to the final. Josep Marti's in 19 and Maya Veg still stuck down in position number 20. Ricky Flynn Motorsport 1 and 3, pre-final A. Paul Aron, winner of the WSK Champions Cup back in January, looking good. He will almost certainly, in fact, now I can guarantee you, he will start the front row of the grid for the final this afternoon. He wins pre-final A. Bogdanovic P2, O'Sullivan 3rd, Montoya, Dunn, Catalyst crosses the line ahead of David. There's Bosco coming through, just ahead of Andreas, and who will take position 17? It is indeed Conrad Lawson. Oh, Jetpack Jack from Houston, Texas, provisionally misses out by 1. He finishes in position 18, just ahead of Josep Marti. Maya Veg, she was 1 lap away from a podium last week, but now her weekend ends early. She finishes down in position 20. The list of retirements is long. Fluxa, Merzalmi, Albanese, Morocco, Matthew Rees, Marcel Guch. The fastest qualifier, Spinner, Silverholm, and Sun Yu Hang. A run wins from Bogdanovic O'Sullivan. This is the results of pre-final A. Huntley and David, the Frenchman, in contention for his 2nd win in the series. After that great drive into 7th, Griggs does go through, as does the driver from Rotterdam, Lorenz van Hoppen, Kayaski, and Conrad Lawson, his Ricky Flynn Motorsport teammate, through in that magical position 17. Unfortunately, you saw their position 18. Jetpack Jack is out, as is Marti and Maya Veg. Bad luck also for Lorenzo Fluxa, the driver from Mallorca in Spain, down in 26th. These are the drivers who didn't finish position 32. Alfio Spinner. Oh, a disaster for the young Sicilian. He put it all together. He qualified on pole position on Friday night with a 58.590. But his weekend comes to an end right there. So Paul Aron from Estonia. Paul Aron will start from the front row of the grid, potentially pole position depending on the results of pre-final B in just a few moments. Ricky Flynn Motorsport 1 and 3, split by the Swede Dino Bogdanovic for Ward Racing, who finishes in 2nd. Pre-final B, here from Naples in just a moment. This is the fourth and final deciding round of the 2018 WSK Supermaster Series here at Naples. Back at Sarno in just a moment. Vesuvius in the background of this Sarno circuit, Circuito Internazionale Napoli, which next year will celebrate 25 years of operation. As pre-final B for the junior class comes out onto the circuit. The track built back in 1994, first hosting the European Championships in 1999. 24 years of operation, always a popular stop for the WSK series. Spectacular backdrop. That is not Vesuvius, that is just the hills that surround the circuit, just a few kilometres from Naples. This is the grid. Gabriel Bortoleto has been in scintillating form, and he starts on pole alongside Vlad Lomko. Gabriel Mini, the series leader, well, in contention for the championship. I think he's passed Kirill Small over the course of the heats throughout the weekends. We look at the grid for you. Gabriel starts alongside Taylor Barner of the second row of the grid, Georgi Dimitrov, and the second of the Brazilians, Rafael Camara, going down to position number 27. That is Enzo Trulli. Remember at South Garda Karting back in March, he won the Margutti Trophy, but he starts back on the 14th row of the grid in the 358 CRG. He's had up and down form this weekend. We will keep one eye on the Italian. Enzo starts alongside Francesco Pizzi, also Joshua Kurtzia, all the way from Port Elizabeth in South Africa. We know there's a lot of you watching down there in SA. We hope he has a Mushaleka race. As they come up to the line, they go around one more time. Joshua, one of 5 South Africans racing here this weekend. Great to have their presence. Always great to have the South Africans here. And despite the fact that we are surrounded by farmland, he does have white skin. It's unlikely that his life will be in danger this weekend. Joshua Kurtzia from Port Elizabeth alongside Maxim Harlampiev, the Bulgarian. Second Bulgarian in this race because Georgi Dimitrov starts out at grid number 5 for Oliver Oaks in the 391 Vortex X-Spree. There's the Bulgarian. Alongside Kamada, 359 in the Cosmic Racing Department entry. Taylor Barnard for Kart Republic. Two of the smallest drivers in the field, Taylor and Raphael, on the right side of the grid as they come up to the line. Front row, Gabriel Bortoleto, Vladislav Lomko for the 2016 World Champions, VDK Racing. Watch the Russian, watch the Brazilian. 13 laps, pre-final B. This is the race to see who will join Paul Aron on the front row of the grid. Bortoleto leads them away from the front row indeed. The Brazilian down the back straight for the first time. It is a clean start. Watch Gabriel Mini in contention for the championship lead. The championship title, in fact, last year's mini class winner of the Wsk Supermaster series. Gabriel Mini started out of grid number 3, but didn't get a good start. He's back to 6th spot at the moment in the 3-4-6. Perillo powered Paralin. So a nice clean start for pre-final B. They need this. Remember, we'll keep an eye on position number 17, where these drivers need to finish just to qualify. This weekend, we started with a massive field of 84 drivers. The driver who did lead the championship on 212 points coming into this round was Kirill Small, but the Russian did not set a time in qualifying, was 82nd. On Friday night, he starts this one out of grid number 18. We're looking for Kirill Small, and he's already up to position 14. Bortoletto leads from Lonco. Taylor Barnard from Cromer in East England in P3. For the Kart Republic of Dino Chiesa, running in P3, Kamara, Marcus Amand, Mini back to 6th spot ahead of Georgi Dimitrov. Victor Bernier, also for VDK Racing, took a couple of heat wins yesterday, has been superb. And then 2 Russians, Tikhon Kharitonov and Dmitry Novizolyov, round out the 10. Kamara on the back of Taylor Barnard. So Bortoletto leads, glimpses behind him. Vlad Lomko for VDK Racing in 2nd spot. The field starts to settle down. We've had a good clean start. We've all got 34 runners. We've got all 34 runners still running. It is Bortoletto from Lomco. Barnard, Kamara. Lomco tries the inside, tries the outside. Gabriel holds him off. It will be a fight before long, be assured, between the 2 Gabriels. Bortoletto, the race leader, and Gabriel Mini, the series leader, who's up into position 5, just ahead of Marcus Amand, Victor Bernier, and the 2nd VDK Racing entry. There's Mini up the inside. There is no space. Only grass for the Sicilian. He decides against that. Tucks in behind Rafael Camara. So we've got Brazilians 1 and 4. We've got O Menino do Brasil leading. We've got Os Meninos do Brasil, the boys from Brazil, 1 and 4. In between them is the Russian, but I speak too soon because Taylor Barnard is under real pressure. In 3rd spot from Kamara. So sorry, it is Lomco in 2nd. He's the Russian. Then it's Taylor Barnard, the Englishman. The 2nd of the Brazilians, Kamara, in the Cosmic Kart. It's a Cosmic Kart of Vlad Lomco, also in 2nd spot. The CRG leads. Taylor Barnard in the Kart Republic is 3rd. Gabriel Mini in the Paralin in 5th spot. Kamara down the inside. Barnard gets him on the exit. Watch Mini wheel to wheel with the Brazilian, but the Sicilian goes through. Gabriel Mini, the series leader, moves up a spot. Intelligent drive. The 3-4-6 Paralin lost time off the start. He was back to 7th. He keeps it cool, under control. The plain white helmet of the Paralin team driver just picks them off one at a time. Wants to win the title. He is the reigning WSK Supermaster Series champion from last year, but that was in the 60cc mini category. Yes, Mini is his real surname, despite the coincidence in the title that he won last year, the Sicilian in P4. So it's Bortoletto from Sao Paulo, Brazil, ahead of Vladislav Lomco, the Russian, for VDK Racing. The first retirement, you just got a glimpse. Delano Vantov is already out. Bad luck for the Dutchman. For Forza Racing, one of the drivers that have been under the weather all week, has not been feeling well. Immediately after his qualifying session on Friday night, was violently ill, was really not under the weather, and he's the first, really was under the weather, and he's the first retirement here this morning. Unfortunately, the Dutchman, Delano Vantov, will not race the final this afternoon. I'm not sure whether he'll be relieved or disappointed. An incident further back in the field while the leaders go through. We've lost 2 of the Kart Republic team drivers. They've taken each other out. Leonardo Fornaroli, the Italian, and Roberto Faria, another of the Brazilians, have taken themselves out. They joined the list of retirements. They were in the top 17 they won't race the final. We've lost Vantov, we've lost Fornaroli, and now we've lost Roberto Faria as well. Their teammate Taylor Barnard in P3. As they come down the Vega tyres back straight. Being pressured by Gabriel Mini though. The Sicilian leading Camara. Victor Bernier, the Frenchman, also for VDK Racing. There he is, the yellow helmet at the back of this pack. Position 6 for the Frenchman. Took a couple of heat wins yesterday, as I say. Has been superb for VDK Racing. Murray Boyer for Team Baby Race. Behind this pack, which is also including Marcus Aman, Georgi Dimitrov, Karitanov, Kirill Small. How about the racing Russian up into position 11? Was classified 82nd after not setting a time in qualifying on Friday night. What a drive from the series leader, trying to keep his title hopes alive as Victor Bernier goes through and picks off Camara. The Frenchman now up into position number 5. Nice drive from Victor. Marcus Aman tries to follow through also. Gabriel Mini has got past the Brit, the Sicilian, picking them off one by one. The title is being led coming into this round by Kirill Small for Ward Racing on 212 points. Gabriel Mini, who's third in this pre-final B at the moment, came into this final round at Sarno on 211 points. They run in, let's see, 3rd and 11th places respectively. Mini's had a great run. Small, after not setting a time, a disastrous run this weekend, but the Russian is fighting back. He will qualify for the final comfortably at this stage with 5 laps to go. He's in position 11 ahead of Jose Antonio Gomez Gutierrez. Novizolyov, the other Russian, slipped back to 13th. Head of Sebastian Gravlan, the Malaysian Adam Putra up into 15th. Jamie Day, the driver from Dubai, in 16th, and Miran Pingasov, another of the ubiquitous Russians. There's Kirill Small going through and picking off his countryman Tikhon Karitanov into betitaly.it. Miran Pingasov driving for the 2005 world champion Oliver Oakes holds down position number 17 with 4 laps now remaining. Pre-final B. Murray Boyer pulls out, tries to get past the Brazilian Rafael Camara, but the boy from Brazil has none of it. Bortoleto, meanwhile, has to concede first place. The Russian for VDK Racing now leads here at Sarno. The Estonian Paul Aron watches on from pit lane, curiously to see who will join him on the front row of the grid. Bortoleto tries to fight back. He wants to make sure it's him. At the moment, he will start on the second row of the grid. Vladislav Lomko for the World Championship winning VDK Racing team. They won that title in 2016 with Victor Martins, who makes his debut next weekend at Paul Ricard in the Formula Renault Euro Cup Series. Their former driver, a real talent, and they've got one on track here this morning. Vladislav Lomko leads the race from Bortoleto. He's right in the slipstream. 4 laps now remaining. Pre-final B. Taylor Barnard richens up the mixture on that Perilla engine. Oh, Bortoleto down the inside. Nervously, the CRG has to back out of it. He will lose 2 places. Look who is there to pounce. Gabriel Mini passes Gabriel Bortoleto, the favourite for the title from Sicily for Team Paralin. Now up into 3rd. Can he pick off the Brit? Taylor Barnard, who holds P2 for the Kart Republic of Dino Chiesa. Victor Bernier, 2 VDK Racing entries inside the top 5. We go back to the baby race of the Spaniard Murray Boyer, Aman Dimitrov, the Bulgarian Kirill Small, up into P10, position 17 at the moment. Alessandro Balzarotti, after he just got past the driver from the Emirates, Jamie Day. Jamie in the 322 Energy Kart, 2nd in the Rotax Max Grand Finals in the Minimax class last year. 1 spot off qualifying as the Brit now goes through. We have a new race leader, Taylor Barnard from Cromer on the east coast of England. What a star this kid is. announced his arrival on the WSK international scene back at the Champions Cup in Adria, has rarely been outside the top 5, and now he leads the pre-final. Will he join Paul Aron on the front row of the grid for the final? At the moment, it seems so. But breathing down his neck is Gabriel Bortoleto. Gives him a touch. Does the Brazilian, not once, but twice. The CRG means business up onto 3 wheels. The track turning really grippy here this afternoon. You can see the Vega rubber being painted onto the bitumen with 2 laps now remaining. Bortoleto from pole wants to start the final from pole. Looks inside, looks outside. Tries the high line on Barnard. They're bunching up behind him. Watch Mini, the plain white helmet of the Sicilian. But he's got his own problems. In the 2 VDK racing drivers of Vladislav Lomko and Victor Bernier, Murray Boyer. That's the blue and white baby race paralleling up into P6. Bortoleto all over the back of the Brit. Oh, down the inside goes Bernier. Murray Boyer tries to take advantage as well, but he'll lose out on the exit of BetItaly.it. Again, Bortoleto with a great run on the exit. Barnard withstanding the pressure. Will come across the line to get the last lap board, but Bortoleto dives down the inside to lead the final lap. Almost puts Barnard into the grass. Watch Mini. It's Gabriel versus Gabriel. Bortoleto is out in the grass. The Brazilian goes rallycross. He does recover, but he's back in position number 7 with grass all over those steaming hot Vega tyres. Oh, almost a catastrophe for the boy from Brazil. He comes around turn number 6. Let's count them off. He's in position 8 and is about to be passed by Georgi Dimitrov also. Oh, a move up the inside. Nicely done. Goes through Victor Bernier side by side. Rafael Camara has dropped down to position number 10. The final lap of the pre-final. Paul Aron will be joined on the front row of the grid for the final by the young English driver Taylor Barnard. He rounds the final corner and takes the checkered flag. What a drive for the Englishman. We will look back through the field. There's Bortoleto coming across the line in P8, 1 ahead of his countryman Rafael Camara. The Brazilians 8 and 9. Taylor Barnard wins a sensational pre-final from Victor Bernier and Vlad Lomko. The VDK Racing teammates went wheel to wheel down the Vega tyres back straight, almost taking each other out. They did recover. They finished 2nd and 3rd from Mini. And look who finished in P5. Can you believe it? No time on Friday night. 82nd he was classified. Kirill Small, the ruthless racing Russian, finishes position 5, exactly 1 place behind his contender for the title, Gabriel Mini. Mini 4th and Small in P5. What a drive from the Russian. For Ward Racing, there's the result. Barnard, a faultless performance from Taylor. VDK Racing, 2nd and 3rd. Gabriel Mini, 211 points coming into this round. Finishes in 4th. Kirill Small, the series leader coming into this, 212 points. Finishes right behind him. Going through to the final, Francesco Pizzi in position number 17. He will be relieved. Just behind it, the 2 Russians, Miran Pingasov and Dmitry Novizolyov. Bad luck for Jamie Day that we did mention. He ultimately didn't finish the final. You can see he's classified down there in position number 29. It's a long flight back on the Emirates Airbus A380 all the way to Dubai. But he's acquitted himself well this weekend, Jamie Day. Unfortunately, on the opening laps, we lost Delano Vantov and the 2 Kart Republic team drivers, Roberto Faria and Leonardo Fornaroli, taking each other out. That's the scene here at Sarno. Paul Aron from Estonia, Taylor Barnard from England. The front row, provisionally, of course, for the final of this, the final round of the WSK Supermaster Series here at Sarno later this afternoon. We continue direct drive racing, the OK World Championship class, their pre-final here in just a moment. The final round of the Supermaster series here in Naples, back in just a few moments.
I see you walk around my way, so easing into your embrace. It's like I never went away. You glow like you can't escape the rays. You're brave enough to save the day. Love, hoping we can make it there. Coming through the race.
Welcome back to Sarno. We continue with our pre-finals. This is the OK class. It has been brilliant all weekend. And pre-final A continues with that tradition. The form has been outstanding. The class of driving, just phenomenal. This is a world-class field. They come out onto the circuit being led by the German Hannes Janka, who himself has shown world-class talent all weekend. He starts on pole position alongside Tymon van der Helm for KSM Schumacher Racing. Another green cart, that's Nobilel, alongside the super impressive Spaniard, Javier Sagrera. Lorenzo Travisanuto out of 5 alongside Moraine Kramers. The 2016 World Champion, Pedro Hilprand, out of 7. Speaking of World Champions, back in position 27, Tom Joyner. First year with the new French team. Bit of an experimental year, and he is struggling this weekend. He's back in position 27 on the grid. Just repeating, he's the 2013 World Champion. When it rained last weekend, he gave us a glimpse of his talent. Came storming up through the field from a similar position to finish in position number 5. We'll see if he can emulate that. He needs to make it through to the final this afternoon. I can tell you one driver in danger of missing it is Mattias Torreggiani as we go green. The Italian for Ward Racing will miss the start as the field comes streaming up the back straight for the first time, being led by the Dutchman Tymon van der Helm. Hannes Janker from pole into second spot. Noah Millel. Oh, we've got 2 carts out in the grass. One has been turned around as well. We'll pick up who that was for you in just a moment as we concentrate on the lead. The Dutchman Tymon van der Helm from the German Hannes Janker in the menacing black TB Motorsport entry. Maciej Kaczowski involved in that incident. The driver from the Czech Republic has managed to rejoin, but a long way down the field. Tymon van der Helm won his final heat last night in scintillating form, and he leads now for the German team. But speaking of Germans, here comes Hannes Janker. Oh, thought about making a move on the back of the Dutchman. How about MK Kramers up into P3, absolutely flying. It's Dutch drivers 1 and 3 as the field stream across the line for the first time. Tymon van der Helm from Holland first. Hannes Janker from Germany second. Moraine Kramers also from Holland. We thought he was going to go through into P2, but Hannes Janker, if he's smart, will make the move, and Kramers can just follow him through. Hannes Janker, arguably the driver to beat here this weekend. I know Nicholas Nielsen would say otherwise, but the problem for Kramers is Travisanuto has just gone through on him. The Italian for the Kart Republic team, 2016 Supermaster Series champion, goes up into third. Did Kramers miss his chance? Well, he's got 12 laps remaining to make amends. Great start by Pedro Hilbrand, as you would expect. The 2016 World Champion all class. Back with CRG. They hammer up the back straight at 132 k's an hour. Kramers a little bit defensive, breathing down his neck. Here's the black CRG of Hilbrand. Then it's Millel, another Spaniard, Sagrera, another Dutchman, Glenn van Berlo, Mr. Red, Andrea Rosso, and the Swede, Victor Gustafsson, rounds out the 10. Maciej Kaczowski does come across the line. He's half a lap down. Involved in a first corner incident with Manaf Hajawi, the Jordanian, who I won't say went wheel to wheel with Francesco Pagano yesterday. He went fist to fist, blow to blow, right on that corner there where the leaders go through. They turned Sarno into a boxing ring yesterday in the heats as Hannes Janker makes his move and goes down the inside. Tymon van der Helm from The Hague in Holland goes back to P2, being followed through by Lorenzo Travisanuto. Kramer still holds down position number 4, but for how long? Because Hilbrand is right behind him, as is Millel. The front 6, nothing really between them. Kramers. Oh, down the inside, Travisanuto takes the Dutch driver. Tymon van der Helm back to third. So the Dutch driver's now third and fourth. The German leads the Italian, Travisanuto. Well, he means business here this morning. Kramers takes his countryman. Tymon van der Helm, it's all going wrong for the Dutchman from the outside of the front row of the grid. Led the opening lap, he's back to P5. Another Tony Kart. That's Noah Millel for the factory team, breathing down his neck. Javier Sagrera, P7 for the Spaniard in another CRG. Behind his teammate, the 2016 World Champion, Pedrito Hilbrand. Down into turn number 2, the green machines trade positions. Milel from Sweden, just ahead of Tijmen van der Helm from Holland. You see the differences in the NASA panels. That's been the big talking point from the green team all weekend. As Hilbrand goes through, the 2016 world champ does not need to be asked twice. Tijmen van der Helm from the race lead, now back into position number 6. Sandwiched in between the 2 CRG drivers, the 2 drivers from Spain. In fact, Sagrera has just gone through. Tijmen van der Helm settles back in 7th spot. Hannes Janka settles into the lead. The TB Motorsport team driver from Germany on the podium. 7 days ago, he leads pre-final A. Here this morning, Travis Nuto Kramer superb in P3. He is now the best Dutchman. Milel Hilbrand. That's Michelotto coming across the line ahead of Colapinto, Alexei Brijan. Elias Seppänen rounds out the top 17 at the moment. He's just ahead of David Rosenfeld, Frank Chapin, Antoine Potti, younger brother of TCR touring car driver Maxime Potti, down in position 21 ahead of Jorge Pescador. Luca Nurmi, Louis Westover for Piers Sexton Racing, Jenny Jakobsen from Norway for TK Racing, being managed by Sebastian Bailey this weekend. She's had a pretty good run, but she needs to improve to qualify for the final. Tom Joyner started in position 27. Tom Joyner runs in 27. Can you believe the 2013 world champion, who was consistently on the podium last year, is 10 places off qualifying, just going through to the final this afternoon? Hannes Janka's looking good. He's the race leader. As Noah Milel goes down the inside, takes P3 away from the Dutchman. Marijn Kramers back to P4 in the 2-1-2 Birolart. Hannes Janka on the podium. As I say, he is 3rd in the series coming into this round on 185 points. Behind Edgar on 186 points. And the series leader is Nicholas Nielsen, looking for his 8th WSK Supermaster Series title later this afternoon. We'll see him in action at the checkered flag when he hits the track in pre-final B, which is still being led by the German Hannes Janka. Kramers. Then we go back to Pedro Hilbrand. Spent last year with the green team, back with CRG, where he dominated the 2016 season, winning the Euro World Championship, also the KZ2 Gearbox International Super Cup. He goes down the inside and takes Kramers. He did win a round of the European Championships at the Fernando Alonso circuit in his home country of Spain last year with the green team. But he's back with CRG, where he feels most comfortable. Remember last weekend, he was classified 58th after not finishing a single heat. Had it been today, he wouldn't have even raced the final, but he fought back from position 58 to finish in 2nd place. Hilbrand now in 4th. We'll check the order for you as they come across the line. This time, there's Van der Helm going through, 204. He's in 6th now, ahead of Sagrera. Van Berlo, Gustafsson 9, Christopher Lullums 10. The reigning junior vice world champion ahead of Andrea Rosso, Michelotto, Gabriel Nord, Franco Colapinto from Buenos Aires, Argentina 14, Marcelo 15, Alexei Brijan from southern Russia 16, and Pietro Deliguanti, who missed the Leconca round of the series due to the fact that he came down with a severe dose of the measles of all things. Currently in position 17, looking to qualify. Needing to move up, David Rosenfeld, Frank Chapard, Elias Seppänen, Potti, Pescador now back in 22nd. Head of the Piers Sexton Racing driver, Louis Westover. Emil Sariavi, TJ, still stuck way off qualifying in position 25. Hannes Janka, the gap 2.6 seconds back to Travis Nuttall. Milel the Super Sweet, P3 ahead of Pedro Hilbrand. Look at the lead from the German, with 4 laps now remaining. A calm, controlled race. The only change on that last lap was the Argentine Franco Colapinto moving into 13th on the Swede, Gabriel Nord. They go past the abandoned cart of Manaf Hedjawi, the Jordanian, who had a great run in the wet last weekend, but it's a long way back to the Middle East for the Birol Art Middle East driver, who joins Matthias Correggiani as the only retirements in this pre-final A here this morning. The fourth and final deciding round of the WSK Supermaster Series here at Circuito Internazionale Napoli. 3 laps to go. Millel in the slipstream of Travis Anuto. Hilbrand has not given up hope. He never does. As Millel dives down the inside. Travis Anuto back to P3, immediately looks behind him. The gap back to Hilbrand, just a 10th of a second on the screen. Hilbrand will not give up until the checkered flag, and even then, you can't stop the Spaniard. He runs in P4, chasing down not the Swede, now the Italian, Lorenzo Travisanuto. Noah Millel knocking on the door of a major victory over the last 6 or 12 months. Can he do it here this afternoon? He's looking at a second row start for the final. Hannes Janka, forget about the German. Oh, he has been awesome. The gap is now 3 seconds with 2 laps to go. For the second time, the sportsmanship warning flag comes out for the Finn Emil Sarajärvi, who's down in position 20, giving it absolutely everything, and why wouldn't he? He's got 3 laps less than to improve 3 places. Just to qualify for the final, Hilbrand closes in on the back of Travis Anuto. Will he make the move? He was almost close enough there. The Kart Republic of Lorenzo, the CRG of Pedro, up into the Pentafuels hairpin, down the Vega tyres, back straight. Hannes Janka is already going through the BetItaly.it hairpin. Hilbrand closes up. They can barely even see Hannes Janka, the German, with 3.3 seconds over Millel. Here comes Hilbrand. He will make the move. He's got another lap to do it, to move up another row for the final this afternoon. Kramers and Tijmen van der Helm, the Dutch drivers, still in P5 and 6. Down the back straight, they almost go side by side. Travis Anuto closes the door. Hilbrand around the outside. He tries to cut back. Awesome stuff from these world-class drivers. Millel escapes down the road. He will guarantee himself a second row start for the final. Lorenzo very defensive. Here comes Pedro, the 2016 world champion, wheel to wheel with Travis Anuto. They do not touch. This is awesome stuff. Brilliant driving by Lorenzo and Pedro. Can Hilbrand do it around the outside into BetItaly.it? The CRG up onto 3 wheels. Again, Lorenzo closes the door. Here comes the move surely on the final corner. Oh, he went too defensive. And Pedro says, muchas gracias. The Spaniard goes through as Hannes Janka takes the win. Awesome racing there on the final lap of the pre-final from these 2 world-class drivers. The 2016 world champion Pedro Hilbrand does get Lorenzo on the final few corners to finish in P3. Hannes Janka dominates pre-final A to win from Millel, Pedro, Lorenzo. Then the 2 Dutchmen, MK and Tijmen van der Helm, position 17, qualifying for the final on the final lap. The French driver, Frank Chapard, goes through to race the final at the expense of Elias Seppänen. The Finn, who got warning flag after warning flag, almost made it through as we look at the results for you. Hannes Janka, Millel, Hilbrand on the last few corners. Spectacular racing ahead of Lorenzo. Kramers and Van der Helm. Sagrera, Glenn Van Berlo makes it 3 Dutchmen in the top 10. Good drive by Christopher Lallam, and Mattia Michelotto rounds out the 10. Gustafsson, Rosso, Gabriel Nord, the Russian Rosenfeld, the Argentine Colapinto, Leonardo Marceglia also through to the final. And the final qualifier out of pre-final A is Frank Chapard. He did it, as I say, at the expense of Seppänen, Deliguanti, Westover, Pescador from Valencia in Spain, out. And Tom Joyner 2013 world champion, will not race the final later this afternoon. The only retirement was the Jordanian Manaf Hijawi. So Hannes Janka, absolutely in scintillating form. The German for the TB Motorsport team books his spot on the front row of the grid for the final. Who will join him? We're about to find out. Pre-final B for the OK class here at Sarno. What a spectacular sight. On your screen, you are watching us live on wsk.it, the fourth final deciding round of the Wsk Supermaster Series for 2018. Pre-final B for the OK class in just a moment. That is Nicholas Nielsen, the series leader, leading the field out on to the circuit. Nicholas, the Dane, on 223 points coming into this final round, will start pre-final B on pole position. Jonas Civico, the Catalan, the Spaniard, 251. Just a little slow getting out of the grid as we go through the grid for you. Nielsen on pole from Coluccio. David Vidalis out of 3 alongside Zane Maloney, the Bayesian. Well, let's see if the fastest qualifier from Friday night can continue his superb run in 2018. The Zane train starts out at P number 4. Third row of the grid is all English. Out of grid 5 is Johnny Edgar, Harry Thompson alongside Dexter Patterson, the reigning junior world champion. Starts out of 7. Speaking of reigning world champions, on debut in WSK International Competition, grid number 15, Denny Curl, 293 for the Kart Republic of Dino Chiesa. As I say, the reigning world champion in this very category. Nielsen on pole though, with Coluccio on the outside of the front row. Nielsen raises his hand. Our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, sends them round one more time. Coluccio, a 4th, a 3rd and 2 second places throughout the heats, has been in superb form this weekend. Fastest qualifier at La Conca. Can he win for Birilat here this afternoon? It will be an enormous feat if he can do it. You just saw a spectacularly dominant performance from the German Hannes Janka in pre-final A. Nicholas Nielsen wanting to take out his 8th WSK title this afternoon. It would be his 3rd race win in 3 weekends. If he can do it, he won at Mugello in the Ferrari Challenge 2 weeks ago. He won right here, the penultimate round of the series, and he starts this pre-final B on pole position. Denis Civico, fortunately for the Spaniard, we do an extra formation lap because he's struggling to join the back of the field, to being slow out of pit lane, which you saw live pictures on your screen wherever you are watching us all around the world. He does now slot back into position. Denis Civico to start out of grid number 19 alongside Cass Havercourt. They come up to the line. Nielsen leads them down into the first corner. Good, clean start. Coluccio tried the outside line. Let's see where the young Italian comes through the first few corners. He's in third. Zane Maloney, the Bayesian, up into fourth spot. Oh, a big crash further back in the field. One of the Kart Republic drivers involved in that. We'll pick up who it was. It's at the very far part of the circuit. I've got a feeling it was the reigning world champion. Hopefully for our sake it wasn't. Jules Mettetal, Luca Maich, the German, also for TV Motorsport. They are the drivers who have come together. They are both out. Jules Mettetal attempting to restart, but his chances of racing the final this afternoon have evaporated. Nielsen is the race leader. There is Zane Maloney, 227. The Bayesian comes across the line in P4. Dallas, the Spaniard, in third spot. They come streaming down the back straight. Enormous speed. Look at Coluccio, though. Wow, he means business this morning. Closes up on the back of Nitro Nicholas for the lead of pre-final B. They're swarming behind this battle for the lead. The British drivers, Edgar, Thompson, Patterson, all going wheel to wheel. Olin Gali from Brazil up into 8th has been superb. Roman Stanek, Vasquez, Bradshaw, another driver who didn't set a time in qualifying, has also stormed up into position number 11. Nielsen from Coluccio, they're going wheel to wheel behind this battle. Vidalis is in third. Zane Maloney heads Johnny Edgar, the reigning junior European champion. They run in positions 4 and 5. They come across the line. The order is Nielsen from Coluccio. We go back to Vidalis, Maloney, Edgar, the reigning junior world champion, the wee lad from Glasgow in Scotland. That is Dexter in position number 6. Then it is Gali, Olin in the 295 CRG, superb. He's one spot ahead of Roman Stanek. Callum Bradshaw in 9, and Kasperis Vasquez rounds out the 10. Harry Thompson has lost out. He's back into 12, needs to fight back. The reigning world champion, he was involved on that first lap incident. He is still circulating, but he's way down the field in position number 26. Denny Curl ahead of the Lithuanian Gustas Greenbergis. The yellow flag is about to come out, an incident off screen, and the race is about to be neutralized. The leaders come across the line. We've got the full course yellow out. Nicholas Nielsen, the race leader, raises his arm. The field slowed down. The full course yellow is out. This is lap number 4. Unfortunately, an incident for the CRG driver. I hate to say this because I know his parents are watching on back live at their home in Leicester in England. Callum Bradshaw has been involved in an incident. He is being attended to by the medical team here at the exit of turn number 6. Incident involving Pete, I apologise. It's the Brazilian driver Olin Gali. Callum Bradshaw is still circulating, we believe. It's certainly one of the CRG drivers. I will confirm that for you. Metatal and Maich are out. We are looking for the 211 CRG. The field come across the line. We are under full course yellow. Pete, I know you're having palpitations back in Leicester. I am looking for your boy. It was a CRG involved in the incident. Olingali, the Brazilian, who was running in a superb position number 8. In fact, it was an incident between the two CRG drivers. So this is lap number 5. The race leader is Nielsen from Coluccio Vidalis. We'll bring you up to date as soon as we possibly can. Bradshaw and Olingali have been involved in an incident. The two CRG drivers, they are being attended to. The race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, is down on the scene at the exit of turn number 6, at the opposite part of the circuit to where you can see on screen now. We'll take this opportunity to check the order. These laps still do count. Nielsen from Coluccio, Vidalis, Maloney in P4, Edgar 5, Patterson 6, Roman Stanek 7, Kasperis Veskelis 8, Charles Martinez 9, Harry Thompson worked himself back into position 10 prior to that incident. Killian Meyer 11th, Ferrati 12th from his KSM teammate Leonardo Bizzotto in 13th, Jacopo Genno, Matthias Zaccazzetta from Peru 15th, Cas Havercourt 16th, and Janice Chivico the final qualifying position when the race went full course yellow. So the field down the back straight. The race has been neutralised. This is lap number 6. The drivers, Olingali and Callum Bradshaw, are up and standing at least, which is a good sign. I can see from our vantage point that they are up and being attended to. Hopefully it's just minor injuries. They are being carried away by the medical team here at Sarno. So this is half race distance of pre-final B. What this does do is guarantee that Hannes Janka will start on pole position for the final, because the driver who completes the race time in the shortest distance, or the shortest time, the quicker time I should say, starts on the front row of the grid for the final. And with this being held under safety car conditions, it will obviously be a much slower race. We do go green at the end of this lap. And before we do, one of the drivers has taken to the grass. Axel Sarniala. Sorry, it was Cas Havercourt who went off to the grass before we even went green. We are back under racing conditions. Cas Havercourt was pushed out to the grass while we were still under yellow conditions. The drivers involved in that incident, both from TCRG, are walking away from that accident a little bit wounded, but they look to be relatively okay. We'll try and bring you an update as soon as is possible. We go back to the race for the moment. Nicholas Nielsen is the race leader. Vidalis in second. That is Coluccio on screen. Maloney has lost out off the start to the British drivers, Edgar and Patterson. I'll check the order for you next time across the line. It will be, let's do some mathematics, 5 laps to go at the end of this one. Nielsen, the race leader. Vidalis in second. It's all green karts. KSM Schumacher and the Tony Kart Racing team. 1 and 2, then it's Coluccio, Edgar, Patterson. Maloney back in 6th spot, the Bajan, the fastest qualifier, the coolest kid from the Caribbean. In 6th, ahead of 7th place, Roman Stanek Vasquez. Thompson now into 9th, ahead of Charles Martinez. And Killian Meyer 1 spot behind. The driver that was most injured in that accident is walking right underneath me. Olingali looks to be okay. Pete, back in Leicester, sorry for giving you heart palpitations. Your boy, Callum, won't race the final, but he is A-okay after that incident. Bad luck for Olingali. Certainly, he was superb all weekend. The Brazilian on debut in WSK International competition, involved in that incident that brought out the full course yellow, which now leaves us with 4 laps to go. just as we get word that a 3-second penalty has come through for kart number 274, the American Nicholas D'Orlando. That's virtually the end of his chances of qualifying for the final. He's in position number 19, one spot ahead of the reigning world champion, Denny Curl. 20th, Cass Havercourt, after being forced into the grass on the slow laps. Cass is back in 21, head of Dan Skoktopol, Hugo Sass, also for TB Motorsport. The Lithuanian Gustas Greenbergus, Axel Sarniala, Kosarev, Komanducci, and the Greek driver, Giorgio Marco Giannis, need a miracle to go through to the final. These are the race leaders. That is Vidalis with the brand new OTK Superkart style NASA panel, which if it is going to work anywhere, it will be right on this very part of this super quick Sarno circuit. Now they're touching 132 k's an hour right there before they break down into turn number 2. Luigi Coluccio from southern Italy in P3 in the 207 Birolat. Finally showing us what he's made of. Has been on the podium many times in the past in WSK competition, also in the Italian Championships. Birolat, of course, that team, one of the most legendary manufacturers in all of world karting. Team owner Ronnie Sala here this weekend watching his boy run P3. There's Patterson going through ahead of his teammate Edgar. Stanek, Maloney back to 7th, Thompson. The rest of the field going through. BetItaly.it. Pizzotto D'Orlando in 18th. Denny Curl needs to improve 2 places to qualify for the final this afternoon. We've already lost one world champion, Tom Joyner, out from pre-final A. Denny Curl needs to improve a couple of places as well. D'Orlando, despite that penalty, the American in position 18. Can he move up 1 place? He's actually 12th on the road, but that 3-second penalty means he's 1 spot off qualifying. Back to the front. Nielsen leads from Vidalis. There is Dexter going through. There's Maloney also. A move up the inside by Kasperis Vaskelis. Ertham Fontecha, Jacobo Geno in 11th place as well. Just ahead of the Swiss driver Yassin Farati. They'll come around the final few corners to get the last lap forward of what has been a very disjointed pre-final B here in the sunshine at the foot of Vesuvius outside of Naples. Kasperis Vaskelis, the Lithuanian, in P9. The last lap board is out. There he is. Behind him is Jacobo Geno. Then we go to Ertham Fontecha. Ferrati, Martinez, Zagazzetta, Bizzotto, Cortalainen holds down position 17. Head of D'Orlando and Denny Curl. The reigning world champion needs to improve 2 places to make it through to the final. Vidalis, meanwhile, he has not given up on a front row start. All over the back of Nielsen now. Hannes Janka watches on from pit lane. Will it be the Dane? Will it be the Spaniard to join him on the front row of the Group B final? Watch out for Coluccio. Oh, the Birolat. Can he pass both the green machines? They're going too defensive. They try and work tag team to block off the young Italian. The Dane with 2 corners to go. Nitro Nicholas will close the door. Coluccio will try and round them both up on the outside. But Nicholas Nielsen too good. Coluccio almost gets Vidalis on the line. The reigning junior world champion, Dexter Patterson. Great result for him. He's in P4. Johnny Edgar, 5. Harry Thompson, a gutsy drive from the Englishman to fight back to finish in P6 after being 13th on the opening few laps. Nicholas D'Orlando, despite that penalty, has qualified for the final all the way from the USA. What a drive from Nick. Scrapes through at the expense of Rasmus Kortalainen. And unfortunately, we have lost the reigning world champion, Denny Curl. Nielsen wins it. He joins Hannes Janka on the front row of the grid for the final. Vidalis second, Coluccio in P3. Look at the Brits. The Scottish driver Dexter Patterson ahead of the reigning junior European champion Johnny Edgar. And Harry Thompson 6, down to position 17 despite that penalty. Oh, he did it by a 1/10 of a second as well. Bizzotto goes through. Nicholas D'Orlando has qualified in nail-biting circumstances for the final this afternoon. Olin Gully, you can see position 30, involved in that incident with Callum Bradshaw. They are both okay. The CRG drivers, though, will not race the final this afternoon. There is Callum. He is okay. Apologies to the Bradshaw family back in Leicester. Callum is okay. He didn't set a time in qualifying, but raced well this weekend. But unfortunately, his WSK Supermaster Series has come to an end. Hannes Janka and Nicholas Nilsson. That is the front row of the grid for the final later this afternoon here at Sarno. It's a beautiful day. We're expecting a top temperature of around about 26 degrees, and it's going to get really hot on the bitumen here at the foot of Vesuvius. No thanks to the volcano that towers over this circuit. Did you like that cliche? Because we're getting ready for the KZ2 pre-final here in just a moment. The fourth and final round of the WSK Supermaster Series here at Naples. Just a moment's time. The pre-final on screen. Back with you shortly. Welcome back to Sarno. This is KZ2. This is their pre-final, and that is Matteo Vigano, the driver from Bergamo. His second year with the green team. By his own admission, a difficult 2017, but wow, has he found form here at Sarno. Fastest qualifier on Friday night with a 56.273. 3 heat wins from 3 starts. Starts this one on pole, and the field is even classier than it was a week ago. Let's take a look at the grid. Vigano, Irlando, the Italians on the front row of the grid. Ardigo, who's looking good for another title here this afternoon. And Jeremy, the Jet Iglesias. Welcome back to the reigning world champion, Paolo De Conto, out of grid number 5, alongside Patrick Hayek, who won this very race last year. As we go through the grid, we'll bring you up to date with the news during the week. A sensation here at Sarno with the twice World Cup champion, Bas Lemmers, and the brand new Kart Racing team out of Serbia parting ways. Couldn't reconcile their differences. Bas was here on Wednesday, left the circuit on Wednesday night, and the Kart team are not racing. We wish both of them well. We hope to see the Kart Racing team back on track, and we certainly hope to see Bas Lemmers, the 2-time World Cup champion, back here racing with us very soon. We know you're watching on live this morning from your home in Holland, Bas. Of course, he won that title, the 2012 World Cup, with the Praga team, right here on this very circuit 6 years ago. Some suggestion he may go back there, wherever he goes. Bas, we want to see you back racing very soon. That is Vigano. To the left of your screen, Alex Irlando, the reigning KZ2 International Super Cup champion. Emil Scaris in the 118 Energy. Unfortunately, we're also missing Joshua 5, who's elected to go home to Australia 1 week early to compete in the AKC at Albury-Wodonga next weekend. We hope to see Josh back later in the year as well. As we do almost every race, watch Jeremy, the Jet Iglesias, out of grid number 4. He is a rocket off the line. That is kart 149, Marco Valenti on grid number 31. Front row of the grid, all Italian, Vigano and Irlando. We go green, Irlando, and a great start. Again, Iglesias rockets off the line. He's already picked off one. He got balked into traffic. Wow, he gets off the line very quickly, does the Frenchman. He's into P3 in the Formula K kart, but right behind him is the reigning world champion, Paolo De Conto. Vigano from pole back to second place. Alex Irlando, kart 1, 2, 3, leads for the French manufacturer. Sodi kart into the Pentafuels, hairpin for the first time. Iglesias down the inside tries to take Vigano, the driver from Bergamo in the green Tony kart. Says not this time to Jeremy. The Frenchman has to wait. There is an opportunity right here. Jeremy does not need to be asked twice, but he goes wide. Vigano will get him on the exit. And De Conto might also round him up. Oh, Jeremy almost takes off the nose cone of the 150 CRG. The Frenchman as aggressive as a NASCAR star. Down the inside, Jeremy Iglesias. What a sensational move by the Frenchman. He was not intimidated. He gets by both the reigning world champion Paolo De Conto and the pole sitter Matteo Vigano. Alex Irlando skips away to lead. Jeremy Iglesias, you cannot intimidate the Frenchman. Unbelievable driving. He holds down P2 as the Tony Kart drivers trade positions. They go side by side. Back to De Conto, the reigning world champion, 150. He won at La Conca. Sits in behind them. They come across the line to complete lap number 2. Patrick Hayek from the Czech Republic up into 5th. So the order is Alex from Jeremy, and they're skipping away. Ardigo, Vigano, Hayek, De Conto down the inside. Can't make the move on Patrick. The Cosmic just takes the high line. That was just sensational. Oh, what a start to this pre-final. Alex Irlando, the reigning KZ2 International Super Cup champion, is the race leader from Jeremy. Then we go back to the Tony Karts of Ardigol and Vigano. Patrick Hayek, Paolo De Conto, Francesco Cialenta in the Praga kart from right here in Naples. A superb 7th from Riccardo Longhi. Anthony Abbas and Francesco Iacovacci rounds out the 10 as Cialenta tries the outside of De Conto. The rest of the field comes streaming through. Cialenta, we should also mention, was fastest in the morning warm-up this morning. Down the inside goes Riccardo Longhi. The Birilat 125, can he make the move? Down into the fastest part of the circuit. Back to Iacovacci, the WSK Open Cup champion from 2017. So the field starts to settle down the Vega tyres back straight, where they still touch just over 120 k's an hour as Hayek goes down the inside, kicks off the pulse hitter Matteo Vigano. We've still got all 33 runners still circulating. De Conto, the reigning world champion, also gets by the Tony Kart. Sensible driving from Paolo. He saw that there was a dogfight in front of him, did not want to get involved, just waited his time. There are still 9 laps to go in this, the KZ2 pre-final, the 4th and final round of the Supermaster Series here in Naples. Ardigol, the series leader, goes through in 3rd. Alex Irlando is the race leader in the Saudi kart. The French driver in the Italian kart, that's Jeremy in the Formula K, he's in 2nd place. Ardigol in 3rd, there's Adrien Renaudin going through. Emil Scaris, Andreas Johansson, Axel Bankston. Look at the Swedes in this, Alexander Dahlberg, and he's actually got this also. Unfortunately, Francesco Cialenta, after that great start, the driver from right here in Naples, is a retirement along with Paolo Ippolito. The Dutchman Dylan Davies and the Norwegian Paul Verhaag, 4 retirements, but they will all race the final later this afternoon. Renaudin just across the line, ahead of Benjamin Tornquist, Maximilian Paul, Pierre Loubert. They're trying to chase down Alessio Piccini. Ardigol is trying to do the same. On Iglesias, there is De Conto right behind him. Is Vigano, Hayek, Anthony Abbas, the second of the Saudi karts. Alex leads out front. Down into betitaly.it. They're still doing, as I say, over 120 k's an hour on the back straight. Let alone the front part of the circuit. We'll get to that in a moment. One of the fastest straights in all of world karting. Alex Irlando comes across the line to finish at lap number 6. Jeremy, then it's Marco, Paolo, Patrick, Matteo, Anthony, Francesco, Daniel Vasile, the driver from Pitești, Romania, up into P9. And Simo Pohaka in the 3rd of the Green Machines rounds out the 10 just as we say it. Simo trying the move and he's gone through on the Romanian, it looks like. Behind them, Alessandro Giardelli, Tom Louet, Emil Scaris, Lorenzo Complacey from the back of the grid. The Maranello kart is up into, let's have a look, position number 14, the 2015 Asia Pacific CIK FIA champion. He's with the Maranello team here this weekend. He's got sensational speed in that car. Had a DNF that inspected his grid for this race. As Irlando leads him across the line. Ardigol getting close to the back of Jeremy. Will he make the move into turn number 2? 160 k's an hour right there as Ardigol dives down the inside. The 3-time world champion puts Jeremy back to P3. Iglesias in the Formula K kart, can he respond? Can he hold on to 3rd? There's still 5 laps to go. The problem is he's sandwiched in between 2 world champions. Nice move by Ardigol. Jeremy went as late as he possibly could under brakes, but couldn't hold off the 2014 world champion, the series leader, of this final round, Marco Ardigo, and right behind him is now the reigning world champion, 2 years in a row in fact, Paolo De Conto. Second in the series, Ardigo has almost got another WSK title in the bag. If he finishes here this afternoon, he would virtually be uncatchable. Almost a 100-point lead on Alex Orlando, who does lead the pre-final. 1.3 seconds. Is Alex in the Sodi kart, racing here this weekend in the presence of team owner Emmanuel Marienne from France. Bonjour, bienvenue à toi, Emmanuel. Great to have her presence representing Sodi kart here this morning, and I tell you what, her driver is representing the French manufacturer very well here this morning as well. Alex Orlando, 1.3 seconds over this battle, past the abandoned karts of Talenta Ippolito, and unfortunately Riccardo Longhi has also joined the list of retirements. We're down to 28 runners in this, the KZ2 pre-final. Here this morning, Orlando, look at the lead. The Italians 1 and 2, 3 different manufacturers in the top 3, 4 in fact, inside the top 4. De Conto down the inside of Jeremy, went very late. Hard on the brakes, the reigning world champion gets past Jeremy Iglesias. The Formula K after that rocket start, back into P4. That's a second row start for the final, which is exactly where he started the pre-final. Jeremy knew it was coming, could virtually hear the TM engine of Paolo. He went in so deep, used the engine braking to slow down the CRG. De Conto now up into position 3 behind the 3-time world champion Ardigo. He's the 2-time and reigning world champion De Conto. Iglesias in 4th spot. Patrick P5, the pole sitter. Matteo Vigano, there he is. Across the line behind the Cosmic in position 6. Francesco Iacovacci from the eternal city of Rome. Winner of the WSK Final Cup last year, he's in 7th. Head of the second Sodi kart, Anthony Abbas, Simo Pohaka and Alessandro Giardelli, the second CRG, now inside the top 10. 2.5 laps now remaining. Alex Orlando, 3rd in the European Championships. He's the KZ2 International Super Cup champion also from last year. Remember that sensational move on the very final corner at Wackersdorf in Germany last September when he muscled his way past the CRG of the Swede Benjamin Tornquist. It will give Benjamin nightmares for the rest of his life. Benjamin incidentally running down in position 18. Ahead of the 2 French drivers, Pierre Loubert and Jean Noblet. And it's 3 Swedes, Andreas Johansson, Axel Bengtsson, and Alexander Dahlberg, 4 Scandinavians in fact. Of course, right behind that battle is Oliver Rasmussen and Gino Molo from right here in Naples in position 25. 2 laps now remaining. Ardigo has cut 0.2 of a second out of Orlando. But it's unlikely he will catch the driver from Locco Rotondo, just outside Bari in southern Italy, to win the pre-final. Comes down the Vega tyres back straight. Iglesias still safe in 4th. From Vigano, Hayek, Iacovacci, Abbas, Pohaka still Giardelli. It was Pohaka going through betitaly.it. What a talent is Alex Orlando. Actually became the first ever Italian driver to win the Rotax Max Grand Finals back in Portimao, Portugal. That was in 2015. That launched him onto the international scene, and from there he's certainly gone on with it. We just got a glimpse of Daniel Vasile, the driver from Romania, the DR kart, the M92 chassis powered by the modern engine. Coming across the line, he's in position number 11. Orlando using the TM engine, as is De Conto in 3rd. Ardigo, of course, with the Vortex engine. And it looks as though it will be the French manufacturer, Sodi kart, to win the pre-final here this morning. Down into betitaly.it for the final time. 1 second back to the series leader, Marco Ardigo, who has got a virtually insurmountable lead for the final this afternoon. Alex Orlando rounds the final few corners. The checkered flag comes out for the driver from Bari. The Italian for the French manufacturer wins the pre-final. He will start the final on pole position later this afternoon. There's Renaudin coming across the line just behind Tom Louet. Lorenzo Complacci, the Maranello Kart 14th. There's Ciro Molo going through. 24th head of Andreas Johansson, Marco Valenti, Isaac Stockfest, and Paul Evrard. Iglesias, after that great start, started the pre-final in P4. That's exactly where he finished. And he will start the final from the second row of the grid also. Vigano did get Hayek on the final lap, finish in P5 inside third row start for the final. But Alex Irlando in the Saudi kart wins the pre-final. Out of the go in the Tony kart, that virtually guarantees him another WSK title in 2018. What a way to come back for the Italian after last year spent on the sidelines with injury. De Conto, the reigning world champ, second row of the grid start alongside Iglesias. In the third row of the grid will be Vigano and Hayek. You see down in position 30, Francesco Celenta. Unfortunately, we'll have to do it from the 15th row of the grid. The driver from right here in Naples joins Ippolito Longhi, Paul Verhaag, and the Dutchman Dylan Davies as the 5 retirements from this race. That is the scene here in Naples. What a spectacular sight. The 1,281 metre high legendary volcano that is Vesuvius towers over this 1,547 metre circuit that is Circuito Internazionale Napoli. 2 pre-finals remaining here this morning. It's always sensational. 60cc Mini, the first of which in just a moment. Pre-final A. This is the 4th and final deciding round of the 2018 WSK Supermaster Series. Thank you for joining us all around the world live on wsk.it, also on the official Facebook page of WSK Promotion. The pre-finals for 60cc Mini right here in Naples in just a moment.
Life.
Welcome back to Naples for the first of our two pre-finals for pre-final A for the 60cc mini category. There's a lot of interest in this category, and there's a lot of interest in this particular pre-final because the three championship contenders all line up in pre-final A. Martini Stensone out of grid number 4. He leads the championship. Andrea Antonelli out of grid number 9. He's second in the series. And Timek Kuharczyk out of grid number 5 is third in the championship. All these drivers want to win the race, but those three really are the only drivers that can win the Wsk Supermaster Series title for 2018. Christian Bertucca is fourth in the series, but he's really too far back on 101 points. It will come down to the Norwegian Martinius, the Italian Andrea, and the Pole Timek. And they're all in pre-final A. Dmitry Matveev, though, the driver from Russia for the team from Sicily. Team Gamoto starts on pole from the driver from Bucharest, Romania, Alexandru Iancu, on the outside of the front row of the grid. Karol Pashevitz out of 3. Martinius, the highest placed on the grid of the championship contenders, out of 4. Timek out of 5. Then we go back to M. Flack, starts out of P5, P6 I should say, which is exactly where he crossed the line last week. As the field come around behind Dmitry Matveev, not in contention for the title. He is the Siberian, but he wants to win here this afternoon for Team Gamoto in the 5.15 CRG. This is pre-final A over 8 laps here in the sunshine at the foot of Vesuvius, Naples, and we get ready to go green. Our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, flicks the light, and the race is underway. Iancu around the outside, but loses time. Karol Pashevitz, the pole in the menacing black helmet. We nickname him Darth Vader Jr., has made a good start, and in fact has gone through into the lead. Matveev gets him on the exit. Oh, Karol out on the ripple strip, almost throws that energy cart into the grass. Let me remind you that 3 championship contenders, Stensone, Antonelli and Kuharczyk, are all in this pre-final A, and the best placed of them is the Norwegian, who currently runs in position number 2. Martinius with the bright green helmet, 5.77 for Team Paralin. They are 3 wide down the back straight. Christian Bertucca goes through with Alexandru Iancu. The Romanian in position 5, loses time out of that one. He's just behind Karol Pashevitz. We go back to the front, and Martinius Stensone goes down the inside. Nothing to that the Russian Dmitry Matveev can do about that. Martinius is now the race leader. M. Flack up into P3. That's the best drive yet from the young Australian. Take a look at the replay on the final corner. Martinius Stensone, the series leader, down through the final corner, takes the race lead. Can they skip away from the rest of the field? Marcus Flack fights back. He's the best of the non-championship contenders after this battle. Of course, Matveev in second place. But Martinius is the race leader. We'll check the race of Kuharczyk and Andrea Antonelli when they come across the line next time. Down into betitaly.it, Martinius is the race leader. The Russian, Dmitry Matveev in second. The Australian, that is Marcus Flack in P3 in the energy cart. The best of the energy carts now is young Marcus, and he's actually closing in on the back of the Russian. The 5.04 on the back of the 5.15 CRG, being led across the line by the 5.51 Paralin. The front 3 are starting to pull away. Kuharczyk and Pashevitz, the poles run 4 and 5. Kuharczyk in contention for the title. Flack dives down the inside. M. Flack down into position number 2 in turn number 2. Sets out about chasing the series leader, Martinius Stensone. Into second place now. Has got superb speed here this morning. Let's look at the replay. Down the inside, he lined them both up. Textbook move, broke, drove down the inside, and simply drove Matviv off the racing line cleanly to move up into second place. Kuharczyk and Pashevic, Bertuka behind this battle also. Janko Antonelli back in 8th. He's 1 spot ahead of Nikita Johnson, the American, and Brando Badoer from Northern Italy, twice on the podium already in WSK international competition this year. He currently runs out the 10, ahead of another energy card, another Russian, Karol Kuchkov. Matviv right on the tail of Flack. He's got his own problems though. Look at the menacing black helmet in kart number 547, the pole as Matviv goes down the inside, the energy karts, side by side, Flack out in the grass. Luckily for him, there was bitumen runoff, part of the long circuit here at Sarno. That saved Marcus, and he holds on to position number 5. He was in second place. Now right behind him is the American Nikita Johnson from Gulfport in Florida on the charge in yet another of the ubiquitous Paralin karts. Karol Pashevic in the black helmet in the energy kart on the back of the Russian, got a great run on the exit of betitaly.it. Unfortunately for Andrea Antonelli and Tim Kuharczyk, their championship rival Martina Stensone is pulling away from the rest of the field. There is the race leader, there is the championship leader. Half a second ahead of this battle. So it is Stensone from Matviv, the 2 poles, Pashevic and Kuharczyk. M-Flack back in P5 under pressure from another English-speaking driver in the American Nikita Johnson. Antonelli up into position 7. Kuchkov, Filifero, and still Brando holds down position number 10. Position 17 at the moment. Needed to qualify for the final is currently the Russian Alexander Eubanko. Needing to improve Ivan Dominguez, the Portuguese driver, Michael Leiter, Konstantin Krapin, Jakobsen, Christian Ho, the Singaporean, for Team Baby Race, down in 22nd spot. Needs to move up 5 just to go through to the final. Stensone has got half a second over this battle. Matviv under pressure. The drivers from Poland tag teaming him. Almost like a speedway race. Quite a gap back. Now to Johnson. At the expense of Flack, who's back into 7th spot. He was in 2nd, remember. Was the best energy kart runner till going out onto the grass. They are reeling in the race leader though. Stensone, his gap was just over half a second. You can see they are right on the tail of the 551. The Paralin, powered by the TM. They are all using the Vega control tyre. Here at Sarno, official control tyre for the mini category for WSK competition for 2018. And speaking of which, they go down the Vega tyres back straight now into betitaly.it. Stensone with the green helmet from Norway, looking to emulate his countryman, Dennis Hauger, who won this Supermaster Series title back in 2015. Dennis, incidentally, making his debut in the British Formula 4 Series overnight, and also taking a podium on his debut in Kart Racing, the Red Bull protege. And Martinius, virtually a protege of Dennis, and we wish him well as he embarks on an open wheel car racing career. Karol Pashevic down the inside, takes the Russian, sandwiched in between the poles. There's Timo Kuharczyk. Came into this round in 3rd in the series. He's 4th on the road. The race leader, the series leader, is from Norway. It's Martina Stensone. Karol Pashevic, 7th in the series. Can't win the title, but can certainly win this final round of the Supermaster Series here today at Sarno. Matviv looks behind him. The driver from Siberia. The team from Sicily, Tingamoto. On the back of the energy, gets a great run out of there. Down into turn number 12. Matviv, he's close enough to make a move. Thinks better of it. Tries to get the slipstream instead. This is the last lap board. How are they going to catch the Norwegian? He is looking good to win the pre-final here this afternoon and possibly the final also, and even the series itself in a few hours' time. Pashevic, that wasn't a move for the lead. That was just to go defensive and try and put off the Russian and also his countryman, Timek Kuharczyk. Flack has fallen back to 13th spot ahead of Gubenko. Dominguez, as Dimitri does go through and take second place back from the poles. This is pre-final A. This is the final lap. And Martina Stensone is looking virtually unstoppable this afternoon. Andrea Antonelli is in position 5 in contention for the title as Matveev loses 2 places. The Russian will finish this pre-final A in 4th behind the 2 poles, but it will be the driver from Norway, the championship leader, Martina Stensone. As the 2 poles trade positions, down the inside goes Kuharczyk, picks up another valuable point. And Stensone picks up a valuable win here this morning. The Norwegian, Martinez from the 2 poles, Timek and Carroll. Down across the line goes Dominguez. He's through, as is Konstantin Krapin. And Michael Leiter, the Italian, scrapes through, provisionally in position 17. Jakobsen just crosses the line now in position 28. And unfortunately, Christian Ho from Singapore provisionally. Matthias Jakobsen starting from grid number 30. Was up inside the top 20. Christian Ho, we think, has missed the final by 1 position. Stensone certainly hasn't. The Norwegian takes the win here at Naples pre-final A. Can he emulate his countryman Dennis Hauger later this afternoon and win the Wsk Supermaster Series title? He'll do it from the best possible spot in the house, the front row of the grid, and potentially pole position. Stensone wins pre-final A from the 2 poles, Timek Kuharczyk and Karol Pashevic. The pole setter, Dmitry Matveev, finishes in P4, and the other championship contender, Andrea Antonelli, in 5th place. So the championship contenders were 1st, 2nd and 5th. Martinez, Timek and Andrea respectively. Brando Baldoer, great drive into P8, and Francisco Soldavini, after a pretty average run all weekend, has stormed through. The Argentine has finished right behind Brando. There he is in position 9. Stensone, Kuharczyk, Pashevic, Matveev, Antonelli. Great drive by Nikita Johnson, Kirill Kuchkov. Brando, Francisco 9th, and Christian Bertuca rounds out the 10. Then we have Alexandru Iancu 3rd last week. Scognamiglio flat, faded back to finish in P13. From Gubenko, Dominguez, Konstantin Krapin and Michael Leiter, they all qualify for the final. As it stands, Christian Ho, the Singaporean, misses out by 1. That is provisional, of course, depending on the various processes here at Sarno, and of course pre-final B to come later on this morning. Martina Stensone looking good. He wins pre-final A. He will start the final from the front row of the grid here this afternoon. This is Naples, the 4th and final deciding round of the Wsk Supermaster Series, our final pre-final of the morning for the 60cc mini category. They're on the grid. They're ready to go. 519 is Joel Bergstrom. He will start on pole position. We will be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Naples, our final pre-final of the morning on a beautiful southern Italian day at this legendary circuit that is Circuito Internazionale Napoli. Pre-final B for the 60cc mini categories. None of the championship contenders are in this race. However, it will be a fantastic spectacle in its own right. We expect with the Swede Joel Bergström, that you got a glimpse of a moment ago, to lead the field away from pole position. Constantino on the outside of the front row. Alezzare, Mazzola, Ian Eichmans, Ashke Bora, Josh Irfan, he's been a star this weekend. Bartek Pikotowski and the Russians Elkin and Maximilian Popov on the fifth row of the grid. As I say, none of the championship contenders are in this, but certainly a race-winning contender may well come out of this. We started with 77 drivers down to the final 68, and after this pre-final, the final 34 to start the final this afternoon. This is the fourth and final deciding round of the WSK Supermaster Series. You see Eric Genet and the two South Africans, Nicolas Roos and Saad Variawa, on the final row of the grid. Great to have Eric Genet racing with us this weekend. Scrapes into the pre-final. Of course, son of Jordi Genet, former World Touring Car Championship star. The Spanish driver for the M2 competition team. The two South Africans, we know there are many of you watching that there in South Africa, and I think my Afrikaans accent is getting better and better. What do you think? Nicolas Roos out of grid number 32 and Saad Variawa, grid number 34. Bergström on pole leads them to the line, and we go green. Gianluca Costantino in the Ital course cart immediately slots across into position number 2. They come swarming up the back straight. Bergström in the Formula K kart is the race leader. The Ital course carts, that's 558 and 539. Gianluca Costantino and Rocco Mazzola, they've both made a great start. Look to be in second and third respectively. One spot ahead of the Belgian, Ian Eichmans. Fourth place in the energy kart, the bright fluorescent yellow helmet of the Speedway.be entry. Tucked in behind the two Ital course karts, the race being led by the Formula K karts of the Swedish driver Joel Bergström down into Bet Italy for the first time. Martin Stensoner, of course, won pre-final A just a few moments ago. He watches on from pit lane. Who will join him on the final, on the front row of the grid for the final? In 7 laps time, we will have an answer to that question. The Ital course karts, they're looking good, as is the FK machine, the energy of Eichmans across the line in P4. Back to the American Ashke Bora. Elkin, the driver from Dubai, Keanu Alezzari in position number 7. Keanu Alezzari qualifying in third on Friday night. The team driver Kart Republic entry from the Emirates. Currently well inside the top 10. Ahead of Rafael Modenese from Peru in Central America. Josh Irfan from London in England, and from Poland, Bartek Pikotowski rounds out the 10. Petrovic from Serbia, Maximilian Popov. The Russian in P12 ahead of Pujati. Dawi Dedeka, last year Belgium Minimax champion, racing WSK competition in 2018. Daudia Dunin and Flavio Olivieri currently rolls down position number 17. Early stages of this pre-final B. But Joel Bergström already driving superbly. Here this morning, he's got to lead. The front four are starting to pull away. Look at the run from Costantino. Can the Ital course team drivers work together and muscle the Swede down into turn number 2? Good driving from Bergström. He could hear the pressure, sense it from the two Ital course teammates, but he did not flinch. Great stuff from the Swedish driver Bergström. It allows Eichmans, the Belgian pilot, to close up just a little bit, willing it on as much as he possibly can. And Eichmans wants more horsepower, and why wouldn't he? Because on his home track of Genk, He's already driven something of a makeshift KZ mini shifter kart around that Genk circuit. Many a laps up and down through the gearbox of the Genk circuit. He knows what horsepower is about, and he wants more of it. He needs it to go through and take the win here this morning. He'll just take the slipstream for the moment, though. It is still Bergstrom. You just got a glimpse of it. Josh Irfan coming across the line. He's up into position 7 in the baby race parallel. Oh, look at Costantino smash his right hand against the steering wheel. He wants Rocco Mazzola, his teammate, to work with him and try and catch the Swedish driver, Joel Bergstrom, who has not put a Vega tyre out of place thus far. But the problem that Rocco has got is Ian is right on his hammer. The front four certainly pulling away. It's a long way back to the American Ashke border. Then we have Ariel Elkin, I should say, Josh Irfan, Modanesi, Bartek Pikutowski, and Maximilian Popov, another Russian, now up inside the top 10. Keanu Alazari, he has lost out, the driver from the Emirates, back in position 12, just behind the Serbian driver, Andrej Petrovic, at half race distance of pre-final B. Again, Mazzola follows his teammate through. They just drop off Eichmann's ever so slightly this time. There's Josh Irfan right on the tail of Ashke Bora. Fastest lap last time for Joel Bergstrom, despite the fact that he's towing the two Ital course carts around the circuit. They have dropped off Eichmann's, but luckily for the Belgian driver, it's a long way back to Ashke Bora. There are the front four. There is the front three, in fact. The Formula K, the two Ital course carts, and then the Energy Kart 502 of EE, Ian Eichmann's in P4, Ashke Bora and Josh Irfan, the two English-speaking drivers from the United States and London, respectively. Just behind them, the 3-second penalty has come out for the 574 kart, unfortunately, of Igor Chepel. The driver from the Czech Republic is back in 31st position. That's effectively the end of his chances here this morning as the leaders come across the line. 3 laps now remaining, pre-final B. Stensone will start on pole position. This time the Ital course carts make their move. They go through. Oh, awesome stuff. Are you watching WSK International competition, or are you watching the peloton at Le Tour de France? Because the Ital course carts just drifted by Joel Bergstrom, who did all the hard work in the opening 5 laps. The Swede is now in third ahead of the Belgian. The two Italians run first and second. That was a classic cycling move. They go down the Vega tyres back straight. Eichmann's watch is on, but he's just losing a 1/10 of a second or so each time round. A 107.6 last time for Eichmann's, a 107.4 and 107.5 for the front three on screen. 2 laps now to go. Ital course, this famous name in the world of karting, they're looking good to join Stensone on the front row of the grid. And despite the fact that they are breaking the hour, they are doing 107, 108 kilometers an hour right there. They are still pulling away ever so slightly from Joel Bergstrom. Eichmann's is now 9/10 of a second behind this battle for the lead, but fortunately for him, the Russian Ariel Elkin is back 4 seconds further behind him. Pikutowski, Bora, Alazari has recovered into 8th. Josh Irfan had a moment, the Londoner, in P9 1 spot, ahead of Flavio Olivieri, who rounds out the 10. Matteo Bargnardi, currently in position number 17, ahead of Rafael Modanese, the Peruvian, 1 spot out of qualifying for the final, 2 spots off for Turenkov, and Dawi Dedeker from Belgium, in position number 20, ahead of Bruno Del Pino from Spain, Matteo De Paulo, Polito, Rodrigo Testa, Saad Variawa Frasinetti, Nicholas Ruiz from Vereniging in South Africa, down in position 27. This is the last lap now of the pre-final B. Ital course 1 and 2. They trade positions. Watch Bergstrom. No, Costantino closes the door, looks behind him. Gianluca Rocco is right there, as is the Swede, Joel Bergstrom. Ariel Elkin in P5. Too far back to mount a move on Eichmann's, as Bergstrom tries everything, but Costantino puts the fastest first sector in of the entire race on this, the final lap. Gianluca Costantino, half a lap from home, as Mazzola goes defensive. Gianluca Costantino will win pre-final B. He will join Martini Ascensione on the front row of the grid for the final. Bergstrom, will it be a second row or third row start? The final opportunity. The Swede can't do it. Ital course karts 1 and 2. A great performance from the Italians. Joel Bergstrom, the Swede, in P3. Ian Eichmann's for the battle for P5. Look at them swarm across the line. It is the Russian Elkin from Pikutowski. Bora, Olivieri, Irfan 9th. Alizari through in 10th spot. Straight down to position number 17, Francesco Marenghi in the 535 Evo kart. Scrapes through into the final at the expense of the Peruvian Rafael Modenese. Ital course, this famous manufacturer, is well and truly back on the world scene. Costantino, that's just the pre-final, Gianluca. The final to come later this afternoon, and it will be much tougher than that. Martini Ascensione wins pre-final A. Gianluca Costantino wins pre-final B. Ital course 1 and 2. Bergstrom third from Eichmann's, Elkin, Pikutowski. The American Ashke Bora, Flavio Olivieri. Josh was 9th. Chiaro Alizari from Dubai in the Emirates rounds out the 10. Then we go down to Maximilian Popov, the Russian, the Serbian Andrei Petrovic, Ferdinando Di Auria through Ilya Dunin, Matteo Bagnardi, Nicolas Pugliarti, and Francesco Marenghi in the Evo kart, the final qualifier in pre-final B. 4 races remain in the WSK Supermaster Series. 4 titles to be decided on this legendary track at the foot of Mount Vesuvius. Thank you for joining us live on wsk.it. We will take a short break, but don't go too far away. We will decide the series in 45 minutes' time. The junior final, the karts to be wheeled out onto the circuit at 2 o'clock local time in Italy. We will take a short break. Don't go too far away. This is the 4th and final deciding round of the 2018 WSK Supermaster Series. Back here at Circuito Internazionale Napoli, Naples, Sarno, Italy in 45 minutes time. We'll see you then.